Hello everyone who likes to know about the detail in defense. I'm BorderWise and welcome back to From the Depths, totally scientific combat testing. Now this is the sequel to something this is the long put off sequel to a combat test I did ages ago, which is CRAMs versus missiles. So, the conclusions from last time, unless I'm forgetting it completely, is that 1v1, the missile ship absolutely dominates because missiles don't miss, and they're easy to protect, and they just do more damage in the initial alpha volley, which is where the magic happens, you could say. But then in the, I believe it was a 3-on-2 fight that we ended up with, the CRAMs won simply because they outlasted the missile ships, and they just had more, there was an extra ship in the game with extra guns, and that's what took it. So, we're going to do that again. We're going to do the best of 3 1v1, and then the however much it takes. The costs have changed because active defenses have been added in order to make it a little bit more, I guess, realistic is what you could call it. Because active defense is really important from the depths, and you really don't want any kind of vessel of this size to go into battle without it. That would be kind of silly. So anyway, let's talk about what we've done. Let's start with the missile ships. So, first off, you can see munition warners have been duct taped to the bow and over here on the stern. And also, we have missile interceptor turrets, little prefab that I had just had lying around. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 medium interceptors, 4 small ones on it. Very rudimentary. It's got a little munition warner on the top there. And, yeah, so that is the basic ones. And now we've also got LAMS nodes on here, filtering down, very cunningly placed on rubber blocks so EMP doesn't cook them. And the LAMS system is nothing to write home about, sorry to say. LAMS, the problem I have with LAMS is that they're always kind of an afterthought for me, so this is going to make the laser people shake their head, because it's just a whole bunch of single input cavities with pumps on them. It is a compromise of using the space that I have. There is more space up here, but it's really for buoyancy and just kind of spaced out protection, and that's it. Also, I forgot that these are freaking turbo engines in here. Got a lot of power to play with. So yeah, that's the active defenses on the missile ship. They're pretty decent. Let's show you the damage on here. So the damage for this continuous laser is actually pretty strong. It does have a lengthy recharge time, unfortunately, because, it is single input cavities. But there you go. It should be able to recharge in between shooting down CRAM volleys. As for the CRAM ship, it's pretty much got the same setup. I wanted to keep it as similar as possible to not throw me results off. So we've got munition warners, front and back, same LAMP setup. Actually pretty quick to set up. I just prefabbed a lot. We got the missile interceptors. We got... let's see here, we got the same missile system down here, wrapped in rubber for EMP proofing. But also the CRAM ship has some big-ass decoys back here. These are large decoys with a radar simulator strength of 32,000. And to give you an idea of the regular... detection system, of the, of the detection radius, you could say, of the ship, it's around 10,000. So it's between roughly 3 times as strong, which should be able to fool the signal processors that's on here. It should do a decent job. I have tested this. The missile ship can basically fight off a bulwark without taking a scratch, which is pretty good. It is more expensive than the bulwark. The cost is inflated to over 1 million materials. Really, I should have tested against 2 bulwarks. Oops. And the CRAM ship can fend off 2 palisades at once with barely a dent on it, so that's very nice. So, few comments before we get stuck in. We are just sticking with radar-guided missiles for the missile ship just to keep things simple. I know there's a lot of other things you can do with missiles, but I just wanted to keep it straightforward. And radar-guided missiles are just the basic default missile these days, so we're just sticking with that. We can always do more tests later. That's the great thing about science and combat testing science. And The other thing is that, yes, there's the incendiary update. We're not throwing fire into the mix this time, because fire is kind of a thing unto itself, and I don't want to mess around with that too much. And what else can we say? That's basically it. So the new cost is like just over 1 million materials for the missile ship, and just under 700,000 materials for the CRAM ship. So how I'm going to do this, I might have to pull out my calculator live to figure out how on earth we're going to do this. So 2 million, maybe it'll be 3 on... I don't know. 3 on 4, maybe? I'm not sure. 3 on 4? I don't know. We'll figure out. We're going to start with the 1v1, though, so I'm going to see you in the custom battle setup. See you there. Alrighty, tighty. Ready for fighty. Here we are in the custom battle simulator. On our left, we have the CRAM ship. On our right, we have the missile ship. And let's go. I'm very interested to see how this goes. So over there, for our opening CRAM volley, both ships steaming ahead. And also I should mention I tested chaff emitters on the CRAM ship, and it tended to make things worse, not better. Oh wow, that is a big difference. I should mention as well that who's winning? Oh wow, the missile ship is actually... Admittedly, the fact that the LAMs isn't very good is really kind of screwing with the whatchamacallit. With the missile ship. This is a very different result. Those decoys, I have to say, are making a huge... This is actually demonstrated one of the biggest problems with missiles is that they're like... If you just are relying on self-guided missiles like radar-guided or infrared missiles, like a strong decoy can completely ruin your whole battle plan. So it looks like, you know, it looks like I'm going to have to redo this test later, but with a different kind of missile instead. Maybe remote-guided, maybe lure or laser-guided, in which case that'll change the ballgame a little bit. Yeah, the combination of the decoy flares and the missile interceptors, like, yeah, this is a tried and proven anti-missile measure, by the way. And the CRAMs have enough health that the LAMs and interceptors over on the what do we call it, on the missile ship aren't really doing that much to them. So yeah, the advantage is currently with the CRAM ship, but we'll have to see now. Yeah, also, yeah, that is definitely a factor right there. It's like all those little decoy CRAMs, just those little side-mounted things over on the CRAM ship. Those are effectively causing the missile interceptors to fire, like, too soon. And also, like, I kind of screwed up the pooch here a little bit. I believe that those missile interceptors are not set up entirely correctly, because they're also going for the decoys that the CRAM ship has. So this is, if nothing else, a sign that you really should set up your active defenses properly. This is probably going to need a threequel of some kind. When you just gotta make content, but you... That was a big explosion. I think that was an ammo compartment. Yes, it was. Yeah, wow, the CRAM ship's not getting... is really dominating now. This is why, like, you gotta be careful with the missile interceptors. Not the missile interceptors, with missiles, is you can't just spam missiles and call it a day. Like, there's a lot of things that work to defend against missiles. I think somewhere on here, yeah, I think identify friend or foe has been taken out, because, yeah, I think it's been taken out because I think a bunch of those missiles are actually, yep, they're locking on. That's another problem with missiles, is that if that block gets taken out, you're gonna have a really bad day. Wow, that LAMS is just completely disabled, isn't it? That's a problem, isn't it? Well, I mean, not completely disabled. Let's go hang out, let's go hang out on the CRAM ship. These two are not doing a very good job of closing in. So this fight could take an annoyingly long time. But yeah, it just goes to show, my goodness. Can you please steer... Can you please steer better? Well, there is a 10-minute time limit on this, I believe, so the CRAM ship has about 10 minutes in order to make magic happen here. I think we could skip the whole, like, team fight for this. Simply because, like, if this is what it's like just with the 1v1, bearing in mind the missile ship is the more expensive ship as well. Oh, look at that! It actually did manage to take out some CRAMs. This is also, like, one thing that this is demonstrating quite well, is that having little, arguably useless CRAMs is not actually useless. Because if you have those little rapid-fire things, they can do things like cause missile interceptors to fire too soon. Or they can, you know, cause other problems as well. They're actually landing shots here, and that's impressive. Let's see, the max speed of this thing is about 40 meters per second. It is currently going at almost half that, 25 meters per second. So the CRAM ship just needs to keep consistently getting lucky. Actually, the whole distance thing is working in favor of the CRAM ship a little bit, in the sense that the missiles have a long way to travel, and because they're getting pulled by those decoys, it means that by the time they've like overshot the decoy and swing back around to target the CRAM ship, which radar-guided missiles tend to do, they're really low on fuel and they're probably not going to reach it anyway. So, yeah. And there's that smidge of EMP that that CRAMs do really well to have. Oh wow, that was a hell of a shot. Deacon's hell. Whee! I think that is definitely something I should, that's an error on my part, but, yeah, I think instead of doing a multiple on one fight, I'm going to adjust the missile interceptors so they prioritize CRAMs above everything else, which isn't the usual story for missile interceptors, but, yeah, shouldn't take too long. I can hop into the designer, do that, and hop straight back here. Is it right that I do such things? That I can run a fight with mistakes? Damn. When those CRAM shells hit, really, my goodness, they do a very good job. Missile ship's still not out of the game, though. It might be out of the game very soon. Oh, even the... Oh, bless their cotton socks. Those little mini CRAMs are starting to do their thing. How cute. How cute, how adorable. Whee! I am still kind of proud of the superstructure of this. It's one of the prettier ships I've made, because I was actively trying not to do a canoe. What can you do in a little canoe thing? Also, I keep forgetting that I've hidden like a custom prop in there, just so this thing can steer better. Yeah, it's really slowing down now. The CRAMs are like getting their eye in. Dink! Wow, missile interceptors actually did something. This is why you got to be careful with missile interceptors if you want them to deal with CRAMs. Because even with a CWIS controller, it can be a little bit finicky. And yeah, someone's gonna mention diff CWIS. And I guess... Oh, damn it, I'm gonna need to do this again, aren't I? With bigger, better ships and more diff CWIS, and skip straight ahead to the active defenses. Arrgh. Also, the fact that this thing's now hitting itself with its own missiles certainly doesn't help. That's certainly a problem. Whee! And Kasplui. That's the word, right? Kasplui. Cram ship, you have about, about just over a minute to finish the fight. Finish the fight. Make Master Chief proud. Would Master Chief be proud? I don't know. Alright, you have about a minute. Wham! 81% health. If nothing else, I am kind of impressed that this is a decently tanky ship. It's not... Hang on, let me pause the timer to show you how much armor this thing has. It's not amazing. It won't... it's not meant to really stop hefty cram shells. But yeah. And this just goes to show you just how valuable active defense is, because this is like a complete reversal of last time, where the missiles, the missile ship just completely dominated the cram ship. It's just, the decoys are so strong. Like, seriously, never leave home without them. They are the difference between getting instantly annihilated by missiles and just absolutely crushing it, so to speak. I don't think the second match will go any differently, so... Or at least it shouldn't. I think I'll do that anyway. But if it looks like it's going the same, I'll just, I don't know, speed up the footage or something. AI dead? Nope. Well, maybe the missile ship will get lucky. Who knows? Oh, wow. Oh, there's no 10-minute time limit. Whoops! I need to set that up. Alright, so round one, the missile ship has absolutely won. I'm going to go adjust my default fight setup, and then we can move on to round two. Be back in a second. Okay, here we are again, round two. Let's begin. Wait, no, that's a missile ship. I was about to say we need to follow... Let's follow these big missiles first. And the first cram volley... actually does something. I think the missile interceptors are set up to target the highest gauge thing, whatever that thing might be. So that probably is why they're heading up and trying to go for the decoy every time. Let's follow... Whoops, wrong missile. Let's follow that missile. So now you're going to try and come back around. And you're damaged, and probably going to run out of fuel at some point, so... When the missiles are smoking like this is where you really know for sure. And out of fuel. Out of fuel and zap. So yeah, just that combination of just a good strong decoy and missile interceptors, because missile interceptors are what? Oh, hello. This could be more of a whatchamacallit. Never mind, it's not going to be more of a draw. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to do this again. I think I might just build brand new ships for this. It's an excuse to watch things blow each other up, let's be honest. It also, if nothing else, this is also a really good reminder that, tweaking your active defense makes a really big difference. If these interceptors were set up to, only target cram cannons, this fight would probably be quite different, although perhaps not that much so, because the interceptors don't do quite enough damage to those cram shells in order to stop them consistently. They can do, though. Those are they're fairly beefy cram shells over on the cram ship over here. They've got a lot of health. I forget how much health exactly. It's what is it? I think it's 60,000 health, which is quite a fair bit. What the hell were you doing? Look at this superstructure. Look at this thing shrugging off stuff. Oh my goodness, the missile ship actually landed a hit. It scratched the paint. This would probably be quite different if this was a remote-guided missiles, I have to say. Maybe I could just... It's an excuse to, play around a lot. Maybe I should do a remote-guided version of this. Say down in the comments below to see how... I've definitely stuffed up this test. This feels even less scientific than usual. But yeah, suggestions for how to fix it would be greatly appreciated. Oh dear, that missile is going to miss. If nothing else, it's nice to see these ships again doing stuff. Oh dear, that missile... That missile is no longer friendly. It's had its detect friend or foe turned off. Moving right along. This is looking pretty similar to last time, so... I think what I'm gonna do, I'm going to just relax and speed up the footage. If the health on the CRAM ship... or if anything particularly noteworthy happens, I'll let you know, because this is looking like a repeat of last time. Decoys, too strong. Decoys, very good. Oh my goodness, big explosion. Alright, enjoy the explosions, people. Oh my goodness. Missile ship's been immobilized. Looks like her engines have been completely taken out. Missiles are still firing, or at least one of them is still firing. Damn! That is the one thing you can say about CRAM cannons, is at least they can't be fooled by, like, flares. They can be fooled by moving slightly to the left constantly, but they can't be fooled by, like, flares at all. And I don't think... Yeah, the CRAM ship has not dropped in health since the last time I looked, which was like a few minutes ago, so yeah, this is pretty decisively this particular matchup. The CRAM ship absolutely wins. So, I'm gonna need to redo this whole shebang with a purpose-built missile ship armed with remote-guided missiles, or lure-guided, I should say. Or maybe a mixture of, like, laser-guided and remote-guided missiles and all that stuff, just so the GPPP isn't such a huge problem. So, let me know in the comments what you think will be a more fair or more interesting matchup when it comes to CRAMs versus missiles, because I feel like, I don't know, there's things I could have done better here. It is quite illuminating. It is helpful to demonstrate some of the things here, and that one of which is that, like, by the way, all the missiles on the missile ship have signal processors. They can ignore decoys. It's just that when the decoys are really strong, like, you saw yourself over there, it's like, what was it? Like, 3,200 signal strength on those big decoys over on the CRAM ship. Signal processors, like, there's limits to what they can do. So if the decoys are big enough, the signal processors, like, don't ignore them enough. So, yeah, that alone was worth testing and, like, confirming that, like, yeah, signal processors are, you know, they're not an automatic, this makes the missiles hit the target button. Like, you gotta do better than that. And honestly, if you want a purely missile-armed ship, you should probably really use, like, a variety of missile types. So a bit of radar, a bit of remote, a bit of laser-guided, maybe even IR, if, like, I don't know, I've never gotten the hang of IR missiles. They kind of, I always am a little bit disappointed by them. So, but that does it for this test. Wow, like, if nothing else, it just shows you that, CRAMs are too stupid to fool, sometimes. And, this is, like, it's amazing the difference that just adding, you know, a LAM system, 3 interceptor turrets, and some decoys makes. It makes a huge difference. It means that this thing is managed to take on a ship that is much more expensive than it, and arguably much more heavily armed. Whew! What a hell of a time. So anyway, that does it for this combat testing video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something. I've been reminded of a bunch of stuff. One of which is I need to build better ships. And I need to get back to building realistic. I've been on a canoe bender again, where people can't see me. So, thank you all so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Support me on Patreon, or YouTube membership if you like. It really helps, and there's fun perks in it for you. Thank you to all my current supporters, and I will see you next time in From the Depths. Farewell.